I became a recruiter. I made thousands and thousands and thousands of cold calls. Then I got laid off. And then I learned this silly little thing called networking. I met a lady running referral groups. 21 years ago, I started running referral groups. I've had over 7,000 coffee meetings. I've facilitated over 1,500 networking groups with the goal of, for myself, for my wife, and others, to learn how to build a referral-based practice so you never have to cold call, door knock, or pay for leads unless you want to. I started working with my wife 13 years ago. We've closed around 1,030 real estate transactions without ever paying for it. All referrals, no leads.
Woo.
And I've taught this to people all over the world.
Welcome back, guys. So listen, in this one, what we're going to be doing is I got Rick. Rick and I just finished up a segment. So if you're listening to this right now, then the other segment that I just did with him, where he's talking about his one referral way, power partners, getting referrals from trusted advisors, so you do not have to be the one convincing people, hunting people. You're going to want to check that out. Make sure you check that out because this one's coming after it. But today, Rick decided that he was going to really, let's just say we're going to have some fun with this. He's going to jump into our 100K in 100 days challenge. And, you know, not everybody's brave enough to take this on because you got to know your stuff. When someone asks you, hey, if you're going to make 100K in 100 days as a real estate agent, what would you do? I can't tell you how many people freeze. They go,
Piece of cake.
Right? But if you know what you're talking about and you know your strategy, you go day one. Or
let's go, baby.
Step one. So, Rick, before I ask you the infamous question of this series, first, I want you to drop your credentials. You did in the last segment, but just drop them real quick about your credentials so people have a reason to listen to you. Why should they listen to you?
Yep. Hey, everybody. I'm 55 years old. I'm an old guy. I've been doing this a long time. No. So I serviced copiers for 9 years. And I listened to thousands and thousands of hours of stuff in my car. I got 3 college degrees. It's called an automobile university. I became a recruiter. I made thousands and thousands and thousands of cold calls. Then I got laid off. And then I learned this silly little thing called networking. I met a lady running referral groups. 21 years ago, I started running referral groups. I've had over 7,000 coffee meetings. I've facilitated over 1,500 networking groups with the goal of, for myself, for my wife, and others, to learn how to build a referral-based practice so you never have to cold call, door knock, or pay for leads unless you want to. I started working with my wife 13 years ago. We've closed around 1,030 real estate transactions without ever paying for it. All referrals, no leads. Ooh. And I've taught this to people all over the world.
All referrals, no leads.
Yep.
That is powerful. And we're not. And
we're gonna break it down right now.
Not 1 or 2 deals. All right. So, Rick, you ready for the question?
Yep.
If you had 100 days to make 100K in real estate, what would you do? Day one, go.
Okay. I have to set up. I have to ask a couple questions.
Don't worry, I'll have questions throughout as well.
Right. Perfect.
Yep.
California, that is selling like you could make $100,000 by selling 10 homes. In Idaho, it's 50 homes. So, do you want to do transactions? You want to do money?
I would still say money, and
perfect.
That's the ultimate goal.
No problem.
Based off of where you live. Where you would do it in your state. If you're in California, great. California agents are going to love you, and they're going to be like, great, this is how I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do this for the entire United States. I don't have to do it for just California.
Love it. Let's go.
Perfect. So, Robert, the first thing is to breathe and understand that the first few days, in my opinion, are going to be doing nothing that anyone's going to see. I'm going to give you an example. Robert, if I hand you an axe and I say, go chop down a tree, the very first thing you should do is sharpen the axe.
Yes. Yep. I love that.
So, Robert, if you go and you take your dull axe and you're going to go chop on a tree and I take 10 minutes and I go into the woodshed and I sharpen that blade, I'm still going to have the tree cut down before you, even though you went out 10 minutes before me because you're chopping with the dull blade.
And you're going to have less pain.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we have 100 days, so it's not 10 minutes. I'm talking about taking 1, 2, 3, 4 days to sharpen the blade. And here's where we go. Number one, now we're going to network. I'm going to teach you how to do this through networking, not through going on Facebook.
Okay.
So networking is going to networking events and or emailing other professionals and getting them to meet you for coffee. So you can learn about their business and they can learn about your business. You need some tools in the toolbox, Robert. So number one, you have to sit down. If it takes you 5 minutes or 6 hours, you're going to write out word for word why you got into the real estate industry.
Okay.
I want to know why. So, and again, I'm going to go on that no one's heard the last presentation, so I'm going to say it over again here. If you're a real estate agent and you go up to a mortgage lender and go, hi, I'm meeting with you so you can send me referrals because I got in real estate to make money, or I heard real estate's a good way to make money, then they're going to throw you out. If you go up to a client and go, I'd like to help you buy or sell a home because I got into real estate. No.
Not going to go over well.
My wife's very short epiphany story is she worked at Lawrence Livermore Lab in the nuclear department. She always wanted to become rich. She got a real estate license and did it on the side. Okay. So before that, when she was at the lab, the lab went through a transition of public to private. She had this old form. Okay, so let's back up. She wanted to do something with it. She always wanted to have success. And let me tell you the driver, Robert. She had a unique driver of why she wanted to become rich. Now, you don't walk up to people and go, I'm telling you,
right.
The driver. Her father had said, I don't want to get too personal about her family, but her father kind of said, nobody in our family's really ever amounted to anything, and you probably won't either.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, her mom's a real estate agent, and she thought it was a cool industry, helping people. So Marcella's like, well, let me dip my toe in. And she was looking at her 401k, and her 401k would only go up when she puts money into it.
Yeah.
So she got her license, worked for a company. She was showing homes and sitting there all day long, people coming in. She was worried about maybe getting mugged or whatever because she's a pretty lady sitting in a home. She's like, I want to really, I watch my mom create wealth. I want to help people get rich. And I don't think sitting on a Saturday showing a home is going to be the path. She's going to seminars and classes. And she met somebody who was a billionaire who helped a lot of people get rich. And she goes, I want to help people get rich. Then she took a path, and that path is going to be the stuff we're going to talk about.
I like it.
I met a lady who was, her husband worked for corporate. She moved 14 times in like 28 years. It was crazy, like maybe 12 or 14. They're buying houses every 2 years. I think it was IBM, and they were paying for it. But she goes, every real estate agent either didn't show up on time, showed up late. They were unreliable. And every time I saw these things, I thought I could do better. Well, finally, my husband hit 60. And I decided to get my real estate license.
Yeah, she was like, I'm going to get my license. I'm going to be...
to fix all the mistakes I saw.
Yeah.
So my wife was to help people create wealth. This person was to help ease of transaction. I have an IT guy I'm coaching right now who's a part-time real estate agent. And he's like, I'm going to have this pension. And I've always had this thing about helping people fulfill their dreams, because first-time home ownership. So he only works with first-time home buyers because of the dream, not because it's easy. And he can guide them as much as the look on their face when they get in their first home, the fulfillment he gets from that.
Yeah.
is why he got into it.
All
So
right. So
you
the
have
first thing is establishing
your personal story. That's number
personal
one.
story.
And if that takes 5 minutes or 10 hours,
Do it.
we're sharpening the blade.
Sharpening the blade. Okay, so
Number
we got
one,
that done.
Number one, there's a term that, especially if you're 100 days, Robert, we really got to follow this. You go rich in a niche. You can't be a wandering generality. We got to be a meaningful specific. So, Robert, you said this was a challenge, and I took the challenge. I'm going to make it even harder for me. Ready?
Ready.
The agent has got to find one niche and go deep. I want you to give me, I'll give you the list. First time home buyer, investor, empty nester. You tell me what type of specialty you want the person I'm coaching to be going after, and I'm going to teach him how to go after it.
All right. I like
this is making it harder because I could have done it.
Yeah. Okay. So for everyone listening, even though this is recorded, I still want you to drop the different ways that you would want to see Rick coach someone to do, because
I'll make a video on
a bunch of the same ones. What I might do is bring Rick back again.
No problem.
And we'll do a segment about that. So make sure you drop a comment. I'm going to pick one for this segment, but I want you to drop a comment, and we'll turn around and pick the most common one, and we'll bring Rick back again. We'll do another segment. That'll be awesome. All right. So for this
one you're about to pick might be the most common. I'll pick the second most common and do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so for this one, I think here's what we should do. We've got an election coming up, and they're promising grants for first-time home buyers. But first-time home buyers are facing high interest rates. And by high, guys, I mean in their mind, it's actually pretty average historically. But in their mind, high interest rates, affordability. So I think first-time home buyers is a tough one. I think that's a tough one that we're going to see an uptick on if any of these grant programs do get through. Or even if they don't get through, they're publicized enough to make someone feel, a first-time home buyer, go, maybe I should go look and see what's in the market. Maybe I should go see what's possible. So I think it's extremely relevant and potentially could become even more relevant in the very near future. So let's do it. First-time home buyers.
Those of you listening don't know he actually picked the easiest one.
No, dang it.
So here's the thing, Robert. If you for some reason, if you have to buy, rates are irrelevant. We can borrow money off our parents for the down payment, whatever, because historically rates go up, historically rates go down. And I hate that saying, but you date the rate and you marry the whatever that saying is. If you have to buy, so we're going to lay some ideas out here. If I have 100, I got to make 100 grand in 100 days, and I'm looking for first time home buyers, then I need to ask myself. And I wrote down, you can't really see my squiggly notes, but right there's a dollar sign. So yes. What we're going to worry about, let's just play with rates. So I wrote down 100K in 100 days, first time home buyers. So there's a lot of strategies with this, and I'm going to lay them out the way I would. So number one, we're going to have the epiphany story, why we got into real estate. And in my personal story, since I'm going to target first-time home buyers, if I have any personal stories about me buying a home for the first time, I'm going to put it in there because it's going to resonate when I tell the first-time home buyer why I got into real estate.
Shared identity. Yep.
Yeah, and then avatar is you're going to lay out all the circumstances of a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do, and I've got to flip my page over because I did take a few notes when you were bringing it up, is I'm going to ask myself, why is someone buying a home? Why are they a first-time home buyer? So I'm going to write down, in fact, I'm even going to take some notes from my own talk. One of the reasons people are first-time home buyers is inheritance. One of them is bonus check. One of them is getting married.
So compiling a list of reasons why your avatar, first-time home buyers, would be making this decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we got our personal story. We got an elevator pitch. well, not even elevator pitch. We got a personal story. We got avatars, perfect
Right.
client. And then we go first time home buyer. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to go double rich in a niche. I'm going to take first time home buyers and I'm going to say, getting married, just got married, that type of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Is that cool?
I like it. Let's go.
Because I'll be here for 20 hours if I don't.
No. I like this. It's about how you would make 100K in 100 days, whatever that strategy is. Let's do it.
Perfect. Why I got in the business, determine who I want to work with. Okay, first time home buyers. I create an avatar talking about buying my first home and the struggles and what I went through and all that stuff. And then we're going to start asking ourselves questions. Who already has my client? So
okay,
I'm going to go.
Hold on before you get to that.
Yep.
Let me use a question to set you up.
Yep.
So I have a little bit of it's a loose structure because this is a new series, but things that we're going to establish through this journey with Rick is, and because it's a popular term, we're going to use this term just for setting it up. Where is he going to get his leads from? Which it sounds like he was just about to talk about that. Where is he going to get his leads from?
Referrals.
How is he going to follow up with those leads?
Referrals.
Booking appointments with those leads. In other words, how is he going to get to meet those leads now in person to move them to the next level? Because there are very few real estate transactions closed with a real estate agent where the real estate agent hasn't met them in person. It's a very rare thing. What will he do at those appointments to move them forward? And then what does he do after the deal is closed? How does he retain them? So this is what we're going to establish. It sounds like you were just about to jump into where are you going to get these leads? So now we've established the avatar, first-time home buyers. We've established the sub-niche of that, which is they are married or just going to get married.
Yes.
So just married or going to get married. How do we find these people now? How are you going to find these people, Rick?
Yep. So I'm going to ask myself a question. If I'm working with first-time home buyers, potentially people about to get married, and I'm going to ask myself, who has my client? Who has my client? I'm going to ask it over and over again. So I'm going to just throw a bunch of industries at you, Robert, and we're going to go.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, Robert, have you ever been married? Are you married?
I am married.
Perfect. So, all right. It's a long list. I'm just going to start throwing industries out there. If somebody's getting married, they need a jeweler. They need a wedding dress. They need a tuxedo, limo driver, photographer. If I repeat one, sorry. Videographer, event planner, caterer, hairstylist, makeup, nails, personal fitness trainer, chiropractor, acupuncturist, on and on. That's a pretty damn good list, though.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come up with a list of every single person who consults with, sells to, and works with people getting married. So I'm coaching a lady right now, a real estate agent named Alice. She lives right outside of Atlanta. She was in the wedding planning industry for years before she got into real estate.
Ooh, there we go.
So she's networking with event planners, photographers, videographers, because she really likes working with first-time home buyers getting married.
I love it. Those are her people. Those are people she's truly equipped exceptionally well to serve.
Yeah. So that's first-time home buyer.
Okay. So you got all of these people. You've got all this list of people who are talking to the people you want to talk to.
That's it. And I'm going to digress for a second. If it's a first-time home buyer who's not getting married, that's when I showed you on the back of my notes the dollar sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go like this, because I'm going to add this to the first home buyer list by saying it's not the only circumstances in getting married. My fingers are who deals with this, and people listening, money. I'm rubbing my fingers together. So now I got to come up with a list of financial planner, life insurance, CPA.
Got it. Yep.
So
your general vendor list, if you will, or partner list around first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
And then you have your partner list specifically around your sub-niche in first-time home buyers, which is married or going to be married.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to go first-time home buyer and why. Do they have a bonus check? Do they have inheritance? Are they getting married? I took the married one pretty deep.
Right.
If they inherited money and you want other people who've inherited money, you
So
network
let's
with
keep
CPAs.
running with
Go ahead.
the married one because I like
Fine.
this. This is fun. We're
Sure.
moving in a good direction. So
Perfect.
you've got this awesome list that you've
Yep.
compiled of
Yep.
the people. Again, I'm emphasizing this. A list of people who are talking to the people you want to talk to.
Yes. In this case, let's just use people about to get married.
Right.
Okay. So I have the list, photographer, wedding planner, all the lists. We come up with the industry
Okay.
list. And then the next question you ask yourself, when we're going to find these people. So let's use, you pick an industry in the wedding industry and I'll use it. Hairstylist is the best, to be honest with you, if you don't mind us using that.
I would agree with you on that because I even think about the fact that, like, I can't tell you, there are, just real quick, why I'm gonna agree to hairstylist.
Yeah.
I want you to go to someone's Facebook who recently got married. They will tell you essentially two people. They will tell you had the biggest impact on their marriage. In other words, thanks for making a special day. Photographer / videographer who captured the moment, hairstylist and makeup artist, and like people like that who directly worked on the bride. They get the absolute most credit that I've ever seen. Not the pastor, even if the pastor was doing marriage counseling for them. Not the people who even hooked them up together and said, you should meet my friend Jill. And nope, not the limo driver. Not so. If we're going for highest and best use of time and trying to be most efficient, I'm going to agree with you. Let's go hairstylists because I see them get a ton of shout outs and credit.
So what I'm going to do is, where am I going to find them? Could I drive up and down the street? Yeah. If you want to do that, cool. Or if you have one. But what I want to do is we gotta go, okay, where are we going to find the hairstylist? How are we going to get in with them?
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do is we want to build a network as quick as we can.
Right.
Now, we're specifically talking about a hairstylist that just doesn't cut hair, but does updos and wedding stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oftentimes there'll be they'll handle makeup as well.
Some have a makeup girl sitting in there. So I've been to ones with
it, but they're a good resource for more than one reason.
Yes. What I want to do is I have to strategize. How am I going to get a hairstylist to meet me? Because I can't call up the hairstylist and go, hey, I want to talk to you. So when people are getting married, you can send me a referral. I can make a lot of money, because the hairstylist doesn't care about you making money.
You might as well have been calling them about their extended car warranty.
Yeah. They don't care.
Right? They don't care.
So you have a few options. Most ladies know ladies who have hairstylists. And you can get into that hairstylist by using the person's name. If I went, hey, Janice, I'm starting to specialize in working with, so this is where I'm going to show you how to get people to listen.
Yeah.
Janice, I'm starting to specialize in first-time home buyers, and a lot of them are either getting married, thinking about getting married. What I want to do is I want to build a team around my clients. So I want to get a couple good hairstylists to really introduce to my clients and other industries too. But hairstylists, could I get the name of your hairstylist? Yeah, sure. Her name's Donna. Perfect. So I'm either gonna send Donna an email, or I'm gonna go in. The problem with going in is they're always freaking busy. I try to do this via email, because the only time I say networking is a numbers game is when I'm emailing 10 or 15 hairstylists to get 3 to meet with me, because that's all I need.
They may not even, some of them may work from home and they travel and they meet you at the venue and that's what they do. So I like that. Okay.
The email, Robert, let's say you're the hairstylist. Robert, my name's Rick Silva. I just got off the phone with my friend Janice. She said, you're an awesome hairstylist, and I have an opportunity for you and I to talk. You see, Robert, I'm in real estate. I'm working with first-time home buyers, and once in a while, one of my clients is in the process of getting married, and I want to separate myself and be able to provide them other services. I'd love to get an opportunity, Robert, to introduce you to my clients when they need an updo, when the time is right. But I can't introduce you to them until you and I meet for coffee or lunch.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in meeting me for lunch so I could learn about your business, and at the right time be able to introduce you to my client to do their hair?
Now, do you worry about the ones that say no, or do you just keep moving on?
So, Robert, in the very beginning, I said people should door knock and cold call to build armadillo skin
Yep.
to handle rejection.
Yep.
Uh, Robert, where you live, if you did a Google search for hairstylists within 30 miles of where you live, how many would there be?
An unbelievable amount.
So, have you ever heard of SW?
Sound like you're saying South by Southwest.
It's an acronym. So it used to be some will, some won't, so what?
Ooh.
Well, I found a guy who does 5 SWs. Some will, some won't, so what? Someone's wait. Oh, it's 4. Some will, some won't, so what? Someone's out there waiting. Move on. Now, one of the ways I handle rejection, Robert, is I don't walk in the door. I'll find a list of 10 hairstylists. I'll craft the email that I just told you. I'm a local real estate agent. Once in a while, one of my clients is getting married and they need somebody.
I want to send you business. I want to send you business. I'm not asking for anything in return.
Correct.
Right.
I want to be able to introduce you to one of my clients because I'm a real estate agent. I'm trying to become the best known real estate agent in the wedding industry. I need great people like you to introduce to my clients. I cannot introduce you to them until we meet for coffee.
Right.
Would you be interested in meeting for me for coffee so I can learn about you and be able to refer you out when the time comes? Now, I'll send, when I'm coaching an agent and we want to bust ass and knock it out, we're naming all those industries I told you. Yep. We're sending 5 to 10 emails a day. And in a week, we've sent 30 to 50 emails. And you're never going to get a rejection other than somebody might email back, go not interested, but that just delete the email.
Okay, so let's pause there. So the lead source is, and we're going to just break it down in common real estate terms.
I got to stop you, Robert.
Yes.
Referral. I don't work with leads. Referral source.
Right. What I'm doing is, you can correct me, but what I'm going to do for agents listening is we just have the categories. Okay. They're still going to hear leads, even though I agree with you. Referrals and leads are separate. Okay. So your lead source, aka referrals, is going to first, what's really neat about what you said earlier is that you actually go to your current network to build your new network. So you said, I'm going to go to Janice, your friend Janice, your sister Janice, your wife Janice, whatever. I'm going to go to Janice and ask Janice who did her hair or who she would recommend because you're getting into to just married, serving very specific clientele, and she can solve that problem for you. And everybody loves to feel important. Yes, my hairstylist is amazing. Now you're making Janice feel good. I'm good about the investment she made into Donna, the hairstylist. So then you're going to go use your network. You're going to get a bunch of them, not just 1 or 2. You're going to get a ton of them because it is a numbers game, guys. It is a numbers game. You're going to send them a specific email led with value. I basically want to bring you business. I just need to meet you in person to learn about your business. Simple, reasonable, logical, understandable. You're going to book with those. Am I correct? You're going to book with those who respond, but you're not going to fight the ones who don't.
Yeah, dime a dozen.
So if they say no or they don't respond at all, you're not doing tons of follow-up. You're not trying to convince them. No. You're just going to lean into the ones who lean into you. Yeah,
so Robert, I will do this. The ones who say no, because what I do is I create an Excel spreadsheet. The ones that say no, I just highlight them in red, and then I'll email 10 hairdressers, for instance. And one will get back, want to meet me for coffee. Okay, 3 weeks from now, I'll email the other 8 real quick with a follow-up, but that's it. Okay, the one that wanted to meet me,
one follow-up to previous
one time in a few weeks, because it might have gone to their spam.
Right. Okay. So then let's establish that. You're in your first week. We've established what you do. You send out these emails. How many in your 100K in 100 days challenge? How many of these are you sending out in your first week to these hairdressers?
Well, Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday is going to be elevator pitch, creating your personal story. So you're going to be the first day. Right. If you can get some emails out on Thursday and Friday, if you can send, by the time you create the list, write the email, and send it out. I mean, the first week, 50.
So minimum
50 emails an hour.
What we're trying to do is establish, at a base level. So minimum, get 50 emails out to these hairdressers to find the ones that will respond and say yes to meeting you in person.
Yep.
Then correct me if I'm going down the right path, because I want to keep this flow going because I love it.
Hit me.
The next week is now you're meeting these people in person. The ones who said yes. Is that correct?
Generally, you're having coffee meetings next week with people who reached out a week or two ago. So there's this like moving window. The people you're going to be, if you can get them to meet next week, generally it takes 2 weeks. So you might not have any coffee.
All right. So let's assume it takes 2 weeks though. So
Yeah.
let's walk through that. So week one, we kind of bullet pointed what we're doing in week one. Straightforward, pretty simple. Week two, because week three, we're going to be meeting with these people. So that's a different thing. So week two, what are you doing?
So sending more emails.
More emails. Still to hairdressers, or are we adding in more?
Practicing my elevator pitch daily.
Of course.
So like when you come up with your personal story, ultimately you're going to have it on an Excel, not Excel, but PowerPoint or Canva.
Yeah.
With where you grew up, why you got into real estate and all that. Well, you're going to be honing that, but don't let that keep you from sending emails.
Right.
So I'm putting it all together, and on Thursday, Friday, I'm pounding out emails, waiting for responses. The following week, I'm pounding out more emails, but I'm also, like when I'm eating lunch, I'm working on my PowerPoint, putting my...
That's right. Refining your craft, refining the process. It's a never-ending process, guys.
Never-ending.
To the day that you die, you will continue. I always thought that I had one, but I kept improving. And sometimes it's a simple word change. Sometimes it's my vocal approach, the intonations. Okay, so in week two, is it still to hairdressers, or are you adding in other people now?
Me personally, when I have my list of referral partners, so instead of calling it lead sources, I'm going to say referral partners.
Partners, yep.
My referral partners, I'm not going to just be emailing hairdressers.
Okay.
If I have a list of 15 industries, each day it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 of each every day.
So the 50 emails we sent in week one, were those specifically for hairdressers, or
No.
are you saying, oh, okay. So let me
10 hairdressers, 10 photographers, 10 videographers, 10 event planners, 10 financial planners.
So in the first week, you're picking out, let's say, top 5 partners that you think will be the biggest influence to the clients you're trying to connect with. And you're going to send a minimum of 10 emails each to people in those fields. Yep. And then the second week, you're going to repeat that process. Essentially, you're repeating week one. You're just doing it better.
Yes. Yeah. In the beginning,
more effectively. Your email craft probably changed a little bit as well. Yep. Because you realized you sounded like a robot the first time you sent it, and now you add a little flavor. Okay, I like this. So that's pretty much week two, and we're going to assume that the bookings of people meeting with you start in week 3. So now we're in week 3.
You might get a couple the first week, but I don't want to build up too much hopes.
Yeah, we're trying to be conservative. Yep. So we're going to assume now we're in week 3. You're meeting with these people. Let's just choose a hairdresser. We got hairdresser Becky, and Donna. Sorry, and Donna's going to meet with you. Okay. What do you say to Donna? So you're in the coffee shop. You're sitting right. I'm Donna. Mm-hmm. You're Rick.
Yep.
And we're meeting. What do you do? What do you do in that meeting?
The answer is all the homework we've done. So I got to back up a little bit. We're going to hook them to get them to meet with us. So that what we've done, we've set a baseline. We've come up with our personal story of why we got, because your answer is this. What we've done, I like with visual form of why you got into real estate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's right. Week 1 prep.
And why the heck do you want to meet this hairdresser? Mm-hmm. The real honest answer is because you're going to have a first-time home buyer getting married and they might need a hairstylist. Mm-hmm. And you want to build reciprocity with that person. And we want to build reciprocity with the hairdresser because she's going to be sitting all day long doing updos, other people, and you want to get referrals from her. That's the ultimate goal. But we have to be able to find business for the hairdresser. So we have to have our story built in script form. Right. And then in the email, when we reach out to them, say, I once in a while run across people getting married. I'd like to be able to introduce you to them before
reiterating what your mission is. That's
when I set the coffee meeting. Now it's a whole art form, Robert, on how to set the coffee meeting. We're jumping over how we're even going to get them to meet with us.
Okay, we don't have to jump over that. We can real quick. Let's do.
That's huge.
So you've sent these emails. A couple people said yes. I'd love to meet you with coffee.
Yeah. So this is something very critical. How do you get the lion to jump through the fiery hoop. You get them to jump through the fiery hoop by jumping through the hoop a million times when it's not on fire. You understand?
Yes.
The lion at the circus jumps through the fire hoop. He didn't do that. He jumped through that a million times. What we need to do in sales, Robert, is we have to pre-screen our referral partners. We have to be in control. We control our own lives, and in sales, you have to be in control. So the biggest mistake you could make is, hey, Robert, when are you free next week? And now what you're doing is you're letting them control when the meeting is.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's my business. I'm the one that wants to meet them to send them more hairstyle clients.
Mm-hmm.
So I might give a range of when do you go to lunch? What days are you off? That type of thing. But I'm picking the time. Ultimately, I'm picking the day and I'm picking the location. And I highly recommend that people do not meet at the salon. First meeting.
Too many distractions. Too busy.
Thank you. So you got it.
Absolutely.
I want to know where they're located, if they want to meet, what days, and I'll pick a Starbucks or a Pete's Coffee or whatever that's as close to their location as possible.
Yeah.
So
make it easy. Eliminate the reasons why they wouldn't be able to do it.
That's it. So I'm crafting an email with days and times I'm free. They're going to pick a day and time. I'm going to confirm it.
Perfect.
And then the day before, I'm going to reconfirm it and I'm going to show up. Now, Robert, if they show up late, there's a chance they could show up late for your clients. If they stand you up, it's over. Mm-hmm. These things are going to happen once in a while, but as you start to grow,
you give grace. So let's say they had a good excuse.
Yeah, I'm at the 14 minute and 50 second mark. The bag's packed.
Yeah.
At the 15 minute and 5 minute mark, even if they walk in, I reschedule with them because when they show up late, 15 minutes late, without a good, really unbelievably, if they just show up and sit down and they're not apologizing, I reschedule.
Right.
There's no way.
Or they come in and say, sorry, I was late with another client. And I'm like, well, okay, you're going to have other clients with my clients too. Are you going to show up late for them?
Correct.
And that is an important thing.
100%. You have to call them.
You are actually vetting them. You are. And
absolutely.
You'll burn bridges with your clients you want to serve by referring bad people.
Robert, I love you.
Yeah.
So what I was getting, when you're asking about being nervous and all this, there's no need to be nervous because you honestly want to give this person business. If you're meeting them because you're trying to, how am I going to ask this guy for business? Don't. You're going there to try to see how you can help them build their business.
Mm-hmm.
If they're showing up late, you're screening. They're not screening.
You're interviewing them for the job.
That's it. That's it.
And you genuinely are, because you will send them. You have to be honest, right? I am actually meeting you to make you the person that I will refer these clients to. So I am interviewing you.
That's it.
Right? You are interviewing for them a job. And listen, I have hired many people. And if they are late, they have to have an astronomically good excuse, or they are absolutely, not only are they not going to be hired, they're not going to be considered the next time around.
Correct.
100%. Okay, I love this. This is amazing. Yeah. I hope agents are listening right now so they know how serious and important our job is.
That's why I did
hazard with this.
That's exactly why I didn't jump into Rick. They're sitting in front of you. Wait a minute. We got to get them there.
Fantastic. I'm glad. Yeah. This is why I like you. You're correcting and making sure we don't overlook these details, because you're not going to make 100K in 100 days with people who are late, with people who are lazy, with people who stand you up, because that means they're not doing the work.
Yep.
Okay. So, awesome. So just got the good one. The good one showed up, because the good one showed up. That you're now what you have established when you leave 15-minute mark. You said you would give them grace if they have an incredibly good excuse.
Yes.
Otherwise, no.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm the good one. I showed up on time.
I'm not. And so the person shows up. I'm not. There are a lot of struggling agents out there, and I'm not looking to have you spend any money.
Mm-hmm.
But the best $5 you may ever spend is when the person walks in, you take them up to the counter and you buy them a coffee.
Okay, and let's pause, guys, listening. Okay, I know that some of you are like, but if I meet with 5 hairdressers and I spend $5 each, it's $25. But listen, you weren't haphazard with this investment. First, you reached out to them.
Right.
That was step number 1 of vetting them. They responded positively, to your potential offer. Okay. 2, they were willing to meet you at the place, the day, and the time that worked that you dictated. So there's a level of humility and earnestness there. 3, they showed up on time for you, for this opportunity. So when you go spend that $5, I would argue that they've done enough to at least earn that investment from you. You're not buying them steak dinner. $5. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but I'm a pretty transparent person. Sometimes I'll go, listen, I got $5. What do you want?
That's it.
I'll tell them up front. I'm not buying you the crazy thing. It's not anything on the menu. Hey, $5 on me. What do you want? Pick something.
Robert, I've been like, you can't believe, taken advantage of on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So coach lenders out of it.
That's a very good thing.
Don't be with entitled people.
Yeah, that's a very good thing with the 5, because I've had in the past, I usually say I'll get your coffee, which is basically saying don't order freaking 17 bagels and the salmon sandwich, right?
Yeah.
I generally say I'll get you coffee. Now, having said all of this, because I recommend, hey, if you need to make $100,000 in 100 days, you're having 3 to 5 coffee meetings a day.
Right. Okay,
day.
that's good to know.
And I don't care how you get it done. When I start to turn on hard ass, I don't have the time. Yeah, you do.
If you need to make $100,000 in 100 days, you're either buying leads or you're getting referrals.
Or you're having coffee meetings is what I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Having
now,
coffee meetings. Which way do you want to do it? Yeah,
and if you don't want to buy the coffee, don't. You don't have to. I'm just saying, if you got $100 a week, buy some coffees. If you don't want to spend $1, don't buy anyone coffee. I'm not saying you have to do it. Yeah. Robert, when they sit down, what we have to do is we have to put them on a pedestal. So I'm the real estate agent and I'm meeting with a hairdresser. I got to make them feel good, and I got to make them understand up front, I'm not trying to sell the hairdresser a home. And I'm not there just to make money, even though I am there to make money.
Right.
So what I want, by the way, when we set the coffee meeting, keep in mind, we're not going into all the scripting of how we're going to get the person to meet with us, because we'll be here literally for 10 hours.
Right.
But in the email, I say, please put aside 45 minutes to an hour for our meeting.
Good expectation.
Set expectations, because I've had people go, I had it down for 15 minutes. And that doesn't happen to me very often, but having 7,000 coffee meetings, that has happened.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I go, that was my fault.
Yep. Lesson learned. Okay.
Now,
and again, this is high level stuff. We're kind of blitzing through it. So
yeah.
So you set proper expectations in those emails. You pick the time, and you tell them how much time to reserve.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If they sit down and they go, I have 45 minutes, my mind does this. I don't say this out loud. If I have 45 minutes, they get 30. I get 15. Most agents, they get 5 and the agent takes 25. If I have an hour, they go 40. I go 20.
Yes.
And I'm going to dig.
The focus is on them.
I'm going to dig, Robert.
Okay.
And I'm going to dig. I'm going to ask them about their salon. The reason I'm not meeting at their salon, again, distractions. But I should have gone on the internet, looked at their salon, gone on their Facebook if they had a Facebook page, and I'm going to start asking questions about all their services, everything you do.
Let's tuck that in for everybody listening. After he's emailed them, once they confirm that they want to meet with him and he books a date and time, so now there is a deadline, if you will.
Yep.
Rick is saying he's going to go and do a bit of due diligence.
Recon.
Right? Recon. Who is this person? Where is their business? What does it look like? Find things to show an investment and a familiarity with what they do.
Yep.
Right. And guess what? He's also going to learn pretty quickly about reviews. He's going to see positive things. It's going to be great conversation. He'll actually have something to bring to the table that's relevant to them and makes them feel good, which is, he was just about to say, put them on a pedestal. Okay. So now you're talking to me.
I want to sprinkle a little more on that.
Let's do it.
When I'm on their Facebook page, if they have one, I'm also going to look at their personal page, Robert, because I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures of what they do with their husband, if they're married, where they travel, do they have kids, does she ride a bike, does she hike, what does she do? Because when I meet with her, Robert, tell me, give me one hobby that you have.
I write fantasy novels.
Oh my God, I don't even know how to resonate with that.
I could give you more.
I'm going to dig. Do you hunt or fish or in the cars, anything like that?
I
What kind of pictures do you put on your Facebook page? Give me the last 5 pictures you posted.
real estate. It's all real estate,
Okay,
man.
fine. So maybe a hairstylist.
Actually, and my kids. I put.
Okay.
I love like the park or at the
See?
lake. I love my
Okay.
kids, man. And
So
my wife.
here's the thing: if that hairstylist has 2 kids, then in the first 5 minutes, I'm bringing up kids, and you have kids. I have.
So
Great.
finding a bonding, something to bond over.
Breaking down the barrier. This
Yeah.
person's not just a sales
We're
guy.
just 2 people talking versus, business transaction.
So when I start the coffee meeting, I'm a real estate agent. The hairdresser sits down. So just so we're clear, what did I name the hairstylist? Donna. Donna, just so we're clear, how much time, and I'll usually do this, how much time do we have right now? And they'll say, I've had them say a half an hour, and the meeting's gone an hour and a half. So they'll say, how about 45 minutes? My mind immediately goes, okay, 30. I'm going to get them to talk for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Now, if the person doesn't talk, they don't answer a lot of questions. Rick, I meet some people, they won't talk, they won't answer questions, they're sticks in the mud. Pack your bags and leave. They're not the type of person you want to work with. But if gets excited and goes, and you go, awesome, how long you been? Donna, here's why I'm meeting. I've been in the business for X number of years, and I'm out there. And once in a while, I run into a first-time home buyer who's getting married. They need an updo. I noticed on your website you do updos. That's why I reached out, because I want to be able to introduce you to them. But I got to get to know you. We're here. It's awesome. But you knowing the reason I'm sitting here is not to sell you a home. I'm here because I need to provide you to my clients, because if my first-time home buyer's happy, they're more likely to buy the home from me.
Yes.
And tell her all of her other friends getting updos. She's going to throw them your way. And then when their friends want to buy a home, I'm the one that provided their services. So I just want to learn about you. So could you tell me how long you've been in business? What do you do? What's your specialty? What kind of, and Robert, if I'm meeting a hairstylist, I'm learning about a little bit, 5 minutes on scissors and hair dryers and stuff. And in there, do you do the nails, or do you have somebody that you're
getting a comprehensive look.
Yeah. But what I'm doing, Robert, what I'm doing is when I'm talking to a hairstylist, now hear this again. Do you have nails in-house, or do you have somebody else who does it? Do you have massage in-house? Do you have eyebrow, whatever, all the other stuff? It's waxing, boobs, face, whatever, all of it. No. I have a lady down the street who does nails. I have someone else who does this. Robert,
your network expands.
Robert, I'm not leaving until I go, oh my God, I was just thinking about adding a nail salon. Could I get her information? Yeah. And they'll go, sure, I'll email it to you, whatever. Now, Robert, when I go back home, I'm gonna get the nail salon lady's information. Amy, I'm going, hi, Amy. I'm Rick. Donna told me to contact you.
And remember, this all started with Janice and saying, Janice told me. It's amazing that you have this kind of one referral leads to another, referral away.
Yep.
One referral leads to your next referral, leads to your next referral, leads to your next referral.
Yep.
It's really awesome.
Let's kind of, we jumped ahead, but we're going to go back. So we're going to ask her all these questions.
Right.
And I want to know what's in-house, and, and then I'm going to let her talk everything. And then when it's my turn, I'm going to first open a laptop or open up, if you have to have it, like I'll just grab a piece of plastic. If you want to laminate a few pieces of paper, you have got to have visuals of why you got into real estate. Whatever the reasons are, have pictures.
Really makes that a difference, huh?
Oh my God. Yeah, just like we'll back up. Hey, Robert, if you hear somebody say, I'm looking at buying an investment property, I don't know who to talk to. If you hear somebody say that, show them my card and how the visual of my face is now embedded in your mind. Mm-hmm. Robert, the Golden Arches, what restaurant?
McDonald's.
the swoosh on the type of the shoe.
Nike.
How come? Because you saw it.
Yeah.
Visuals.
Embedded,
You
yeah.
want
Okay.
this person's
I'm with you.
face. And on every slide you show, you want your face in the upper corner. I got to
real
start
quick, these
embedding.
coffee meetings, because I don't want to forget to ask this.
Go ahead.
How many of these coffee meetings are you trying to do?
Oh, I told you a few minutes ago. I mean, unless you're unbelievably busy, you should be doing at least 5 a week. I mean, 5 a day.
5
3
a
to
day.
5,
But what
3
I
to
mean is
5
like
a day.
total. So to complete your 100K in 100 days challenge, are you doing that every single day for the 100 days?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's
So
what I mean.
I'm going on the premise we're starting at 0.
Right. And then
So on the premise of
5 a
0,
day as they start to come in
yep.
to reach roughly how many?
Well, if you have no deals,
right.
So you're not doing research, you're not finding homes, you're having 3 to 5 a day until a deal comes in.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful. And that makes sense. Yep. Similar to other strategies I've taught where it's just basically you do the thing until it starts to produce the results
and
then
then
you measure the results.
Then what we do at that point, we have some coffee meetings, we get other referral partners. So if I meet a hairdresser, I want a nail salon, I want massage, I want lips, and I want teeth whitening, I want dentists, I want all of that, whatever I can get from them, the same scripting, and we're going to keep doing it. But when we start getting people referred to us, then there's another strategy where we need to provide other services besides just real estate. That's why we have to constantly have coffee meetings.
So
but when the
kind
business
of
starts to
shift,
come in,
but the coffee focus shifts because now you're meeting
never to 0.
Right.
Just let me be very clear, never to 0. But if you have nothing going on, in my opinion, you have one job: coffee meetings.
Yeah.
What other job do you have? I'm busy doing research on what?
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for that. Actually, when people, I have a guy right now who is like, "All right, I'm here. What trainings should I go to?" I said, "None of them. I want you to go to these 3 things every day, and until they start to produce results, all the other stuff is a waste of time."
Yeah,
because you can't do anything with it.
You have to have activity.
Yeah. Okay, so I like this. So I want to emphasize one point you said earlier for people that we quickly breezed over, but it's really good. We know what it takes to build a network and have someone who's going to send us referrals. If someone shows up, let's say they show up on time, but they have absolutely no personality. They do not want to talk. They will not hold a conversation. The likelihood that they will ever bring up you to their clients and let alone bring up you with enthusiasm, with conviction. When you said walk away, I thought that was very liberating. Guys, it's okay because you need a very specific type of person. They need to be working with the clients that you want to work with, but don't do what you do. And they need to have a level of enthusiasm, conviction, like energy, passion, so that they can say it's not just, okay, I did your hair, have a good wedding. It's what you're doing with them right now. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you need. Here's how I can supply those needs. Here's how we can build these relationships. So I wanted to emphasize that because time is of the essence. When you have 100 days to make 100K, which the whole point of this is to teach agents, time is money.
Yep.
Right? You cannot waste your time on people who are very unlikely.
Correct.
Hence, if they show up late. Hence, if they have no desire to hold a conversation.
Yep.
Right? So that's powerful because I've said no to lenders and they've asked me why. And I said, listen, because you are unbelievably boring. And you're never going to mention to me and nobody's going to, and I'm not saying that you can't work through that, but I'm saying I have a family to provide for and I have clients to provide for.
Yep.
So that's powerful. And I wanted to emphasize that because you do not hear people talk about that.
The most important thing, we have to love ourselves and we have to respect ourselves. And we're allowing people, Robert, and it's a big deal. I'm allowing this hairdresser, I'm allowing them. And I don't care if it sounds arrogant. It's my life. It's my time. And I have the opportunity to maybe send clients to them. I'm allowing this. It's a switch in mentality. I'm allowing the hairdresser to spend an hour with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal
Mm-hmm.
because my time is valuable too.
Yes.
Um, so I'm pre-screening them in the showing up late and all that, but I'm allowing them in my network. I'm trying to figure out the whole time why I don't want a referral partner with them. If I cannot find the reason, then they're going to be freaking great referral partners. If it's I don't have a lot of time, why are we here? Time's money. If I hear that kind of stuff, I am not the guy because
Right.
I know we got
Distracted
100K in
on the
100 days.
phone the whole
We
time.
need people
Or
reliable. We
yeah,
need people who want to help.
your clients need reliable people.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
for
send them
sure.
unreliable people. That's a mean thing to do.
Yeah, and
Jeez.
they need those hairdressers. They want to be dying to meet with me so they can be dying to help my clients. And then if I send them enough referrals and introductions, they'll be dying to help me build my referral business.
That's right. They'll be dying to reciprocate.
That's
They'll be
it.
dying to return. Okay, so
That's
this
it.
is fantastic, and a lot of this front end stuff is so important. So now I'm going to skip through a couple things with you
Yep.
because I think we've set a really amazing basis for this 100K in 100 days of
Yep.
what you do. And guys, just so you know, for almost every lead gen strategy, referral strategy out there, so much of it is here's the basics of what you
Yep.
do. Repeat that consistently, daily. So please stop chasing silver bullets, guys. They don't exist. It's not going to work. Okay. Listen to what Rick said. He goes in and he contacts these people. He contacts a lot of them. He responds to those who respond. He meets with those. He makes sure he finds the right people from those as he vets them. But he continues that process. Then he starts to get the deals. From those deals, he finds new people to do the same process with. New people. Oh, now I need to add the mortgage guy. Now I need to add the insurance guy, the tax guy, whatever, or other people that are related to the needs of the client in that moment. And he's going to meet with them for coffee and they're going to go through the same process. So I hope people are listening to this.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's pause on those vendor partners for a minute. Okay. Do you do anything special aside from vendor partners? Do you do anything special with the clients that you get? Or is it,
Okay.
and that's okay if you don't. What I'm saying is,
well, I do, Robert, but my mind is so geared on just helping them because 100 day. If you said if I was teaching people what to do with their clients for the next 20 years, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to talk about if we're just trying to make 100 grand in 100 days.
right. But if we're focusing on that,
I'm focusing on, you said 100K in 100 days. So I'm just trying to get you clients. To get you clients and then get referrals from those clients and close those, that will not be in 100 days. That's too short of a time frame. It takes too long.
right.
If I said, here's what I do in a year, then yes. But I want to stick with that premise because we'll be here literally all day.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is find referral partners, get them to meet me for coffee, get them to talk so then I can teach them what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can move on to the next. Now, Robert, I'm gonna paint a very advanced. It might not sound advanced, but it is.
Yeah, let's hear it.
At 9 a.m., I'm going to meet a hairdresser. At 10:30 a.m., I'm going to meet a chiropractor. At 2 p.m., I'm going to meet somebody who does massage. Do you think it would be cool if when you met the hairdresser at 9 and then you met the makeup artist who also does weddings, let's say makeup artist 2 hours later, and you said, hey, an hour and a half ago, I met this hairstylist and she told me she likes to network with makeup artists. Would you like to meet her? And what I'm going to do either right then, 3 ways. Right then, I'm going to open up a quick email and I'm going to just, let me introduce you to right now via email. I'm going to send the email introducing the makeup person to the hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've done this many times, but just be selective with who you do this with. I might call the hairstylist on the phone and go, hey, I know you just left a half an hour ago. I'm sitting with a makeup artist right now.
Yeah.
Would you like to have coffee with her? Because I'm doing the same meeting with her. People will freak.
That's powerful. I've done that, and that's actually for me personally. That's my preferred strategy: is 2 birds, 1 stone, and reinforcing the foundation I've already built. Right, which is I said I was going to send you business. By the way, 2 hours later, guess what? Here's this makeup artist. wait, what? This dude is actually delivering on his promise. This dude is actually the real deal. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm the real deal.
So we're having, we've covered a lot. Mm-hmm. Let's just back up for a second. We want to make $100,000 in 100 days.
Yep.
Pick a niche. We picked first-time home buyer. Inside of that, a sub-niche is they're getting married. We go, okay, I'm going to create a story of why I got into real estate. I'm going to create an elevator pitch that gears directly towards people getting married. Who has my client? Hairdressers, photographers, event planners. We made a list of industries who have my client. Then we're going to find them Chamber of Commerce websites, Google, asking our friends. We're going to find hairstylists and massage therapists and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to craft a very specific email to get them to meet with us. Yep. We're going to meet with them. We're going to get them to talk about their business. And then we're going to talk about our business, showing our personal story of why we got into real estate.
Right.
And then talking about who we can introduce them to. And then we're going to fire the reticular activating system by telling them what types of referrals we're looking for. And Robert, the best way to do that is I want to show you something. So my wife helps people invest in land. This is my land card. I want to read the back of the card to you, and I'm going to show you exactly how I program people's reticular activating systems.
Okay.
This is on the back of my card. This is part of the elevator pitch.
Okay.
All right. So if I'm sitting with a financial planner or a mortgage lender, hear what I'm saying. Mr. Mortgage Lender, Mr. Financial Planner, thanks. Keep in mind, Robert, we've been talking for 45 minutes.
Yep.
I'd like to tell you what kind of referrals I'm looking for. And after letting them talk for 45 minutes, and I got 15 minutes left, I have earned the right to tell them what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, Robert, if you hear any of your friends, family members, or clients say any of the following, I would love if you would give them my card, showing you my face again, to program my face in your mind with the programming, the reticular activating system, word for word quotes. Here we go. Perfect referral for me would be if you hear a friend, family member, or client saying the following: I want to diversify my investment portfolio. The only way my 401k goes up is when I put money into it. I'm afraid to open up my 401k statement or my investment accounts because they're freaking me out. I have rentals and I'm sick of tenants, toilets, termites, and troubles. I want to get out of my rentals. Or I want to buy rentals. The stock market's freaking me out. I want to put my money somewhere else. I need to do a 1031 exchange, or I cannot put enough money away to retire. I just want to have more wealth in retirement. Robert, if you hear things like that from any of your clients or your friends, I would love to get a chance to talk to them. Just give them my card. Again, you see, I'm holding up my card. I'm programming my face. And then, Robert, to be honest with you, I'm being frank. Not to be honest, I haven't lied once. To be frank, to be in your face.
Yeah.
I have 100K in 100 days. Robert, I'm not doing much more to nurture that person other than one thing. Yeah. Because I only got 100 days, baby. If I don't have the 100K, I can't pay grandma's bill. She's going to die of cancer. You tell me 100K in 100 days, there's a freaking reason. So in this case, when I meet that financial planner and that mortgage lender and I do the hour and I program their mind, there's only one other thing I'm going to do. Within 72 hours, if it's a mortgage lender, I'm going to email him an introduction to a financial planner. If I meet an estate planning attorney, I'm going to introduce him to a real estate attorney. I'm going to figure out one or two of the best power partners. I'm going to make a couple power partner introductions, and I'm on to the next. And I'm going to have coffee meeting after coffee meeting. Now, my friend Alice, my client Alice, she's a real estate agent in Atlanta. Rick, now she sent emails the 4th of July week. I was like, probably not a good week. I sent a ton of emails, crickets. The next week, she set 7 coffee meetings. Okay. Now, I told you she was in the wedding industry. Right. One of them was a photographer. That photographer, even though she's a wedding photographer, is about to get married. She's going to buy a home from Alice in the next 60 to 90 days. So, yes, Robert, many, 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 many times, your referral partner will become your client. But if you go in, if a real estate agent goes and meets a mortgage lender, trying to get the mortgage lender as a client, you're making career suicide. Yep. But once in a while, a photographer, with her, the photographer said, "This is crazy. You're doing the wedding industry. I'm about to get married. So I think in like October, they're going to buy a home from her because she had a freaking coffee meeting a month ago. So you never know where it's going to come from. But when you go in not trying to sell the home is when you're going to sell the home. Absolutely. So I'm going to introduce the power partner, the hairstylist. I'll meet with the hairstylist. I'll introduce the hairstylist to nail salon and teeth whitening dentist, whatever. Right. And I'm moving on to the next. I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times a day until I get a couple referrals. And then I'm going to cut down to 1 coffee meeting per day. And then when I have a client, I'm going to do the same thing. Robert, I'm a real estate agent. You're my client. Robert, I'm sitting with you and your wife and your 2 kids in your kitchen, and you're thinking about selling. And I don't care about you selling. And I don't care about you pre-screening me. I know when I'm done, you're going to hire me. So I'm not there to sell myself. I'm there to sell my network to you. Robert, you need a fence. Robert, you need a roof. Robert, you said your faucet's leaking. I'll introduce you to a plumber, carpet cleaner, handyman, roofer, painter. I'm going to introduce these people to you. Robert, this is critical, and it's not totally filled in. I don't want to show the businesses on. Because it's being on record. I collect business cards. I put them. If we made a short just on this, everybody, when you network and you collect business cards, put them in a slide and alphabetize them by industry. Don't ever alphabetize them by name. You'll never remember the name, but you'll remember plumber. What was that plumber's name? Plumber. Go to the P's and you'll find him. I lost my train of thought because I got so excited to talk about the cards. Got it. When I'm meeting you, I'm going to show you. Do you need a roofer? Do you need a handyman? What do you need? And I'm going to provide these services. You're going to pay for it, but I'm going to make the introduction so you don't have to spend all day looking for your painter. I'm going to bring them to you. Yeah. That's how you sell yourself beyond. Rick, I don't know anybody. Rick, I'm new in town. Rick, have coffee meetings, and when you meet a client and you provide them a roofer, a handyman, a painter, a carpet cleaner, you've separated yourself from 99.9 out of 100 real estate agents just by doing that.
That's powerful. That is, and I can personally attest to this, that this works, because I'm going to kind of wrap it here and seal it kind of with my own personal experience, because I always think it's relatable. So I got into real estate, and I was in a new town and a new state. So I couldn't do all the things that every guru was telling me to do. Call your sphere of influence.
Yeah, right.
I didn't have a church. I didn't have community groups. I didn't have a day job. Real estate was it. I went all in. My wife is pregnant at the time. And I'm $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in debt. Mm-hmm. What do I do? And so what I did was I went to the brokerage and I was like, what do I do? They told me to do all of this stuff that had nothing to do with making money. The one thing I needed to do. They were like, this is how you show buyers homes. Can you help me get the buyers?
Right. Duh.
Like, why are you teaching me so? I'm not there yet.
Correct.
Teach me how to show them homes.
$1,000,000%.
I have a buyer to show homes to.
100%.
Let me show you how I do my listing appointments. How did you get the listing?
Yeah.
Right. So this is what I did. I followed their thing for 2 weeks, and I said, I'm gonna go broke, and my family's going to suffer if I listen to them any longer.
Right.
So I went and took matters into my own hands, and talking about 100K in 100 days. And part of the inspiration for this challenge is you need to make money.
Yep.
So I sent 500 because I wouldn't cold call. I tried. They told me to do it. I did not like it. I did door knocking. Did not like it. I wasn't afraid to do it. I just really didn't like it. So I sent out 500 messages every week, at least, between follow-up and new contacts. Okay? 500. And I did that every day until the end of my first year in real estate. Okay? And by the end of that first year, I closed 34 homes. Mm-hmm. 34 homes, well over 100K, just for everybody listening. Well over 100K. Okay? Now, a lot of what I did was I was not an experienced real estate agent, but I knew people who could solve problems. Yeah. So when they said they had bad credit, I went and found someone who would help them.
That's right.
Credit. When they said that they needed help Well, I got to be in this school zone. I went and learned about school zones. I went and learned what I had the power of being able to do to solve their problems. And the more that I solved their non-real estate problems, the more I got real estate business from them. The sooner they close the deal. Robert, getting extreme. I have a bankruptcy. Okay, I don't know what to do, but I know how to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? That guy, a year later, closed on a home that everybody else told him he would never close on.
Yep.
He has sent me 3 referrals.
Yep.
Yeah, he was worth the investment.
Yep. And
what I'm saying is I do exactly what you said, which is I keep doing the same process and basically until I make enough money from it, until I'm at a sustainable level that I need to be at. And then I'm solving problems. And that's all I did is I just leveraged other people. I didn't have money to buy leads. I didn't have experience and past clients and sphere of influence and church organizations and all that crap. I didn't have it. All I had was resilience and leverage.
Yep.
And so I leveraged the heck out of my network.
Yep.
And it worked.
Can I throw 2 things at you?
Yes. Yeah. Close us out.
They just came to me. To add on to providing services, let's get off the first-time home buyer thing. Even though I could, that first-time home buyer and wedding and all that, I mean, we did about 15% of what you need to do. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a circumstance downsize. Somebody has a 2-story home. One of the main reasons they downsize, there's 2 biggies. The last kid's off to college, the house is too big, or I'm 78 years old. I don't want to go up and down the stairs anymore, and I will die in my house. I'm not, but I can't do the stairs.
Yep.
If they want to stay in the 2-story or buy another 2-story, Robert, then you damn sure better have a general contractor who knows how to put the lifts on the toilet seat, the handrails in the shower, and the elevator that takes them up the stairs. If they want to downsize, right?
Yep.
Then we need to, they want to go to a single story. Again, people who can retrofit, maybe they got to put in ramps for the wheelchair. You better be providing those services. You sold them a freaking house. That's number 1. Number 2, here's the biggest problem with door knocking. Forget cold calling. I call it premising. Door knocking, going in an area, knocking on doors. I had a lady, now I've had 7,000 coffee meetings, Robert. I heard a lot of stories. I had a blonde lady named Susan in Texas. She'd been an agent for 30-something years, in the 80s, maybe 40 years. I don't know. Long time. Cold calling in Texas. So when it's 107 and the concrete's 130 and you walk on, asphalt, when you're walking across the street in high heels, what does the heel do? It sinks in. This lady told me the story. I'm walking across the street to door knock. I'm knocked on one street. I go to cross the street. My heel sinks in because it's 107. And when I step, I rip the whole shoe off and my heel is stuck in the concrete. So door knocking in 107-degree heat, in a tornado, in a typhoon, in 5 feet of snow in Minot, North Dakota when it's negative 23 years old. Heat, rain, extreme snow. I'm telling you this. You're unemployed. If that's all you do is door knock, you are screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But you can hop on a Zoom and meet with referral partners and build a referral-based practice day or night, night and day, no matter what the temperature. Also, Robert, I'm going to ask you a question. I know you'll get it right. Okay. Buffini and Kruth and all those guys, go knock on 300 doors. Great. You get a listing. You're going to get a listing faster from that than you are networking, 100%.
Absolutely.
Go knock on 300 doors and get a listing. Robert, when they buy the home, you're unemployed. You got to go knock on 300 doors again. Now, I say, Robert, I want you to knock on 300 doors of financial planners, mortgage lenders, roofers, handymen, estate planning attorneys. Another biggie I haven't mentioned is relocation companies. If there's corporate companies that use a relocation company to help their employees move out or move in, well, you want to get on the approved vendor list so you're the real estate agent that helps them buy a home. You get on one of those, you're done for life.
Mm-hmm.
So knock on 100 doors of relocation companies, get in with one. Your career's made for the rest of your life. Knock on 100 people's doors, you make a sale, you're unemployed.
Yep.
So there's more. I want you to cold call referral partners. Don't cold call clients.
Yeah, you want to cold call people who are going to be a long-term investment for your business.
That's it.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Rick. So we went over, but it was well worth it because, and it's not even over. We really got into a lot of good stuff. I hope that people really are putting in perspective the power of relationships, because we hear it all the time, but it's so cheesy and it's so cliche. Nobody's actually talking about what it means to have a relationship. And I look at it and it's just like, it's like my wife and our relationship. What does that mean? That means that I'm constantly investing in her and serving her and putting her above me in the needs that she has. Right. And I do hope reciprocity happens, but I lead by example. I don't wait. Mm-hmm. I don't wait for her to do something for me. And then I go, okay, well, now I'll do something for you. Right. And I think that a lot of agents, when they say relationships, they go, well, Rick, you and I were hanging out in high school. How dare you not use me? We had a relationship. No.
Yeah, right.
You had an association.
Yeah.
Right? You had a vicinity that you shared, but you had no relationship. You did not invest in them. You did not provide value. You did not sacrifice. You did not solve problems for them. So if there's anything that I could help people to understand after listening to this, is here's a great way to make 100K in 100 days. But more than that, understand what a relationship is. Mm-hmm. What is the relationship you want? And then go give that relationship to those people.
Yep. Robert, can I hit you with something? When you're serving your wife at a higher level, you're washing the dishes without her asking. So the law of reciprocity says the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, and the Bible have nothing in common except two things. Love, they all have different gods. Love and the belief in the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity says give with no thought of return. Abundance comes from those unexpected sources, the most unexpected time, the most unexpected place, at the most unexpected amounts. Mm-hmm. So, Robert, the belief in I know you're a very religious and spiritual guy. Washing the dishes, for instance, for your wife without her asking. The law of reciprocity says abundance comes from those unexpected place. So there is a chance, because everything's connected, Robert. I don't care what anybody says, everything's connected. Okay. Robert, if I have an apple and I drop it and it hits the ground, why did it hit the ground? Because of the law of gravity. Can you see gravity? No, but it damn sure exists. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Robert, when you wash the dishes for your wife without her asking, you have brought into your life the law of reciprocity, which says abundance with no thought of return from those unexpected sources and places. Mm-hmm. Robert, in 4 days, someone's going to call you on the phone and say, my friend told me about you. I'm ready to buy a home. Robert, there's a very good chance you got that phone call to list that home because you washed the dishes for your wife without her asking. Because the law of reciprocity says you can't see the law of gravity, but it's there. The law of reciprocity says give with no thought of return, meaning the day I wash the dishes for my wife without her asking, so I can, I don't want to get into sex or anything, so I can get whatever I want. I'm washing dishes because I want something. The law of reciprocity, see my hands? Broke it.
Yep.
You've limited your life. You're going to wash the dishes for you without asking because someday you might get a listing for it and it's not connected, but it is connected.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't do it for yourself.
That's powerful. Rick, thanks so much for making time, man. This was an awesome session. I mean, I love doing these. I think you were an amazing addition. And I think there's so many nuggets in here that I hope they'll go back and listen to again, because this was powerful. You did a phenomenal job, and I'm grateful for the time that you gave.
Thank you. So, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for asking me.
There's going to be people who listen who are like me that are going to want a little more support, a little more hand holding, or maybe they just want to be more efficient and effective, right? I will gladly pay oftentimes to produce results sooner.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way that someone can reach you if they want a deeper dive beyond this conversation, a deeper dive into, power partners and referrals? Because I mean, listen, I think anybody listening right now who's been in here this long clearly says, whatever you're doing, I'm interested.
Yep.
So let's talk to those people. How can they connect with you further?
Yep. So my email is rick@onereferralaway.com. It's 3 words, one referral away, put it together, rick@onereferralaway.com. YouTube channel, One Referral Away. I have dozens of trainings with real estate agents. And then if you want an 8-hour course where I teach everything about networking with 2 hours one-on-one coaching for $795, onereferralaway.com. And there's also a coaching package there too. Check it out. I always do a discovery meeting first. So if somebody buys the course with the 2 hours, I do an hour before they even watch the course to guide them through how to watch the course. So Robert,
I've never even heard of that before. That's very
Robert, I'm going to tell you why. Because there are people out there who sell $5,000 courses, and mine and my training to help people build business blows theirs out of the freaking water. They're selling it for $5,000 because they need money. I don't need money. I'm a multimillionaire. There's no way to water that down. 14 years ago, I was homeless, sleeping on a futon, showering at the gym, helped my wife build a real estate business, multimillionaire. I am not going to work for free, but I don't need to charge $5,000. I work 15 hours a week, Robert. I have the time. And if I'm not doing this, when you and I are done, I'm going to go in the backyard. I'm going to smoke a cigar. My wife's like, you got to keep working because you're going to die from cigars. So that's why I'm still working. So $795 for the course. I do a half an hour to an hour up front. Watch the course. I have 2 hours one-on-one after that, and I'll help you blow up your business. And then the other reason I do that, Robert, is because I want to be brought in to speak to people's offices and teams and blow this out, because it's embarrassing what Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Brian Buffini, Ricky Carruth, a lot of these trainers teach with the talk to your friends, talk to your sphere, join church groups, and knock on doors. That's the last thing you should do. That's my opinion. And I want to help people get out of it.
I prefer to do business.
Cold calling works. I don't freaking like it. I do not like it.
Yeah. I'm with you, right? Okay, this is awesome. Rick, thank you again so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Guys, if you have comments or questions for Rick, let us know in the comments, and I'll make sure to get them to Rick directly, and we'll get those answered for you. So thank you again, Rick.